So today we have a 2006 Toyota Rav4, and the complaint is the MIL is illuminated. Check engine light. The vehicle stability control light and the four-wheel drive light are all illuminated. It's got 161,000 kilometers on it. No apparent drivability symptoms noted. So let's scan it and see what codes it has. So in the engine control computer, it has a P0138 oxygen sensor circuit high voltage and a P1578 brake system malfunction. I'm not sure what that is. It's repeated again. Engine pending codes for the O2 sensor, bank 1, sensor 2, so that's after the cat. Transmission controller is the same computer. And anti-lock brake controller has a code saying that there's a fault in the engine control computer. So that's why the ABS, or vehicle stability control, is off or on. Lost communication with fuel injection control module with the electric power steering pump. That's interesting. And the four-wheel drive has a fault in it related to the engine control system fault. So that's typical on Toyotas. It'll disable the four-wheel drive and the vehicle stability control for certain engine control faults. So P0138 and P1578, we'll have a look at those. So this is something unique to Toyota. The ECM records end conditions in the form of freeze frame data. Some codes will store 5 separate sets of freeze frame data as follows: 3 sets before and 2 sets after. These data sets are useful to simulate the conditions of the vehicle around the time when the problem occurred. So this code supports time series freeze frame. So 00 is when the code's set, +1 is 1 frame after, -1, -2, -3 are 1, 2, and 3 frames before the code was set. So we'll see which code it's actually saying is, I would imagine, the O2 sensor code. A little slow loading the data here. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. That is really nice. That is really nice. So you get a trend here of what was happening. Now, how long this physically takes, I'm going to guess probably about 1.5 seconds. That is really nice. Time after DTC is cleared, distance from DTC is cleared, kilometers. So somebody cleared the code and it happened right away. No misfires. I wonder if it says anything about. Well, this isn't a misfire code, anyways. This is likely a failed oxygen sensor or wiring. So the P1578 brake system malfunction code doesn't set that, that enhanced freeze frame data. It looks like a realistic list of freeze frame. But I'm going to find out what P1578 actually means, what generates that code. See if it's in Snap-on Troubleshooter here. Engine, code tips, B15, not there. That's typical. Okay, so we'll look up the troubleshooting chart. So it says this code is output when the VSC has a problem. Check the VSC system when this DTC is output. 1578 or 69 brake switch malfunction. So it was in the going back into the anti-lock brakes here. Don't think it's a separate computer, so it'll be the anti-lock brake computer. And there is a four-wheel drive, display codes. I don't know, it seems like a big circle here. Let's just diagnose this O2 sensor problem. So looking at cases on Identifix for this P0138 bank 1, sensor 2 oxygen sensor fixed rich. There are lots of cases, 33 cases. Many of them are fixed by replacing the air-fuel ratio sensor, not the actual sensor that's setting the fault code. There's a couple of cases I read through here. This one here where the rear oxygen sensor, the one that's setting the code, has been replaced but the actual fix is change the air-fuel ratio sensor. When I do a snap throttle test, the rear oxygen sensor responds appropriately, so I think that sensor is working fine. This TSB from Toyota mentions that the sensor that in question that's actually causing the problem is the actual air-fuel ratio sensor, and it's not responding correctly. So if it's indicating a false lean condition, then it's going to add extra fuel. Now the fuel trims did not represent that, and now I've erased that freeze frame and I can't go back and look at it. So I think we're going to have a visual inspection of these oxygen sensors and likely replace the AFR sensor. So here we're looking underneath this vehicle, and that is bank 1 sensor 2, and that looks suspiciously new, like somebody's changed that. Definitely looks like somebody's changed it. Maybe they put in a universal one by the looks of it. Looking at the connectors here, it looks like the connector has been spliced. But I think the actual root cause of the problem is the air-fuel ratio sensor is misreporting a lean condition. I'm going to have to confirm with the customer whether or not he had this sensor changed already.